Right. You're able to understand this? This is what we have got for residential status. This chapter has got two parts. One is the residential status that we have now discussed. Second is scope of total income. Second is scope of total income. What income is taxed for whom? That is what we call it as scope of total income. First, now let's go ahead to section 4. Section 4 talks about charging section. That is the charging section. Charging section means that creates a charge on the income tax that tells you what are the income that would be taxable under the income tax act. What are the income that is taxable is given in section 4. So without section 4, you cannot have any chargeability. So if section 4 says this is not taxable, then you need not pay tax on those items. You need not pay tax on those items. So you have to now understand the important part of section 4. Section 4 is the charge of income tax. It says the income tax shall be charged the income tax shall be charged in accordance with the provisions of the Income Tax Act. It shall be chargeable tax in accordance with the provisions of the Income Tax Act on the total income at the prescribed rates. On the total income at the prescribed rates. So it says it shall be charged as per the provisions of Income Tax Act. So take the provisions of Income Tax Act on the total income at the prescribed rates. You know what is the section is saying? You cannot understand anything in this section. It says read the Income Tax Act. Whatever Income Tax Act says that is taxable. Where is in the section? Like for example, you come to the class. I say you read the study material. That is what is important for examination. Now, why do you need to come to class? What is this section saying? This section saying read the Income Tax Act. Whatever Income Tax Act says, follow. Anyway, we are going to follow, right? Why do you need this section? Suma. It is like you go to that place. Straight you go to that place. They are telling the route. They are not taking you to that particular place. So it has to be taxed as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act. Tax should be paid on the total income. What rate also it says the prescribed rate. So you have to understand rates you have discussed. Rates you have already discussed in detail. So we have read the entire provisions of the Income Tax Act. If the entire provisions of the Income Tax Act is said, section 4 is completed. Now let's go and understand section 5, which talks about taxability, which talks about scope of total income. Section 5 talks about scope of total income. It talks about scope of total income. Now, broadly, there are two types of income that we have got. One is Indian income and foreign income. What is Indian income and foreign income? You'll understand. What is Indian income and foreign income? You'll understand. In case of resident, both Indian income and foreign incomes are taxable. In case of non-resident, only Indian income is taxable. Foreign income is not taxable. Foreign income is not taxable. So in case of resident, both Indian income and foreign income is taxable. In case of non-resident, only Indian income is taxable. Now, let's understand what is this Indian income. The following are Indian income. First, received in India, are deemed to be received in India. Received in India or deemed to be received in India. So, if an income is received in India, it will be an Indian income. The moment you receive an Indian income in India, it will be an Indian income. It is taxable for both. Both now who are resident in India as well as non-resident in India. Resident in India as well as for non-resident, it is taxable. Next, accrue Indian income. Second point, accrues in India are deemed to accrue in India. Accrues in India are deemed to accrue in India. Third, arises in India are deemed to arise in India. Arises in India are deemed to arise in India. Now, received in India is fine. What is the meaning of accruing in India? Let's say I have got a fixed deposit in India. I am an Australian resident. Having fixed deposit in, let's say, SBI. Where is the interest accruing? Interest is this SBI is paying the money to Australian bank. Paying the money to Australian bank. That means what is happening here? This is the case whereby money is received outside India. Therefore, first thing it cannot fall. Second one, it says it is a case by Australian has got a FD in India. The interest is accruing in India. Interest gets accrued in India. Why? FD is in India. Therefore, interest is accrued. Interest is accrued in India. Since it is accrued in India, it will be an Indian income. Therefore, it will be taxable. The moment it is received in India, Indian income. The moment or if it is accruing in India, it would be an Indian income arising in India. For example, I got a business in India. From the business I earn profits. Where is the profit arising? The profit is arising in India, profit is arising in India. Either of these three you have got, then it will be an Indian income. Then it will be an Indian income. What do you mean by foreign income? What do you mean by foreign income? Foreign income means anything which is not an Indian income will be considered as foreign income. If it is not an Indian income, if our income is not an Indian income, then it will be considered as foreign income. If an income is not an Indian income, then it will be considered as foreign income. If an income is not an Indian income, then it will be a foreign income. Now, if you carefully understand here, again, I do not know, I told you, but I do not know if you have noted down this. So, for a resident, Indian income, foreign income, both are taxable. I told you, right? For a non-resident, only Indian income is taxable, foreign income is not taxable. In other words, foreign income is taxable only for a resident. Foreign income means what? Or I will put it in a different language. For a resident, wherever you earn the income, be it in India, be it in USA, be it in UK, be it in Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Moon, wherever you earn, right? The Indian, it will be taxable. It will be taxable. That means global income is taxable for a resident. The moment you are a resident, every income is taxable. For a non-resident, only Indian income is taxable. You have noted on this, right? This is the key thing. This is the key thing that you need to understand. So again, Indian income means this is what I would be sharing with you. Right, Indian income is taxable for both resident and non-resident. Foreign income is taxable only for resident, non-taxable for a non-resident. Right. Now, Indian income means anything which is received in India or deemed to be received in India, which arises in India or deemed to arise in India, accrues in India or deemed to accrue in India. That is what is called as resident. And that is what is called as Indian income. Now, receiving in India, I understand. Arising in India, I understand. Accruing in India, also I understand. What is it? Deemed to arise, deemed to accrue, deemed to be received. What is that? That we have to understand. Before we proceed, that means what is the meaning of foreign income? Foreign income means it is not received in India, not deemed to be received in India, and not arising in India, not deemed to arise in India, not accruing in India, not deemed to accrue in India. All those things not. Then it will be a foreign income. Deeming, that means it is a fiction created. Deeming means it is a fiction created. For example, you might have a water bottle with you. Income Tax Act says this is a water bottle. I understand that, but this is deemed to be considered as a pen. Income Tax Act says like this. You cannot question the logic. If it is deemed to be pen, okay, pen. All that, go ahead, right? Take it as pen and proceed further. So the Income Tax Act, why it is deeming? There could be reasons for that. But if it is deemed, you cannot question that. This is a bottle. How can you ask? That no problem. Deeming means it is actually something, but they are creating a fiction and making it as something else. So water bottle is actually, they are creating a fiction and making it as a pen. How can water bottle and pen be related? That is entirely different thing. That is entirely different thing. Water bottle and pen cannot be related. I understand, you also understand common sense. But income tax doesn't go like that. If it deems to be a pen, it is deemed to be a pen. That's all. That is how you have to understand. So, section 9 tells you what is the meaning of deemed to accrue or arise in India. Deemed to, second point and third point, arise in India or deemed to arise in India. Accrue in India, deemed to accrue in India. So, for that, section 9 tells you what is the meaning of deemed to accrue or arise in India. Both are dealt in section 9. Right. First, now we saw 5 heads of income yesterday. Right. Start with salaries. We'll start with salaries. For each and every head, we'll start it separately. Salaries. First, salaries. Salary has got two parts. Paid by Government of India. Paid by Government of India. The moment it is paid by Government of India, it will be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India. Second, for services rendered in India. For services rendered in India. Now, let's go ahead. Understand this. Let's say you have got an ambassador. US ambassador. Heard of this? The card. You might not have even seen card. Ambassador card. It's a person who is outside India taking care of India-US relationship. India will have ambassador with all the countries. Let's say an Indian ambassador is working in US. Right, where he is rendering services outside India. But who is paying salary? Government of India. Therefore, it deems to accrue or rise India. Once Government of India pays salary, they are not bothered wherever you work. They are not bothered wherever you work. Now, that would be considered as deemed to accrue or rise in India. Government, it is paid by Government of India. Government, it is paid by Government of India. They are not bothered where are you rendering services. It is deemed to accrue or rise in India. Straight up, it will be deemed to accrue or rise in India. Second, in case of others, in case of paid by others, in case first Government of India, second paid by others now, if the services are rendered in India, I'll give a simple example. Let's say US citizen came to India for working. He was earlier working in Infosys US. Now he is now deputed to Infosys India. He is working in India, earning salaries. But Indian company is paying his salary to his US bank account. So, where it is received outside India. Okay, no problem. Where it is accrued, deemed to accrue in India. Why? The services are rendered in India. Services are rendered in India. How do you say? He is working in India. Government is working in India. The services are rendered in India. Government services are rendered in India. It is deemed to accrue or arise in India. The moment it is deemed to accrue or arise in India, it becomes Indian income, taxable for both resident as well as non-resident. Taxable for both resident as well as non-resident. Please understand how do we need to conclude. See whether section 9 is satisfied. If section 9 is satisfied, then we'll say it is deemed to accrue or arise in India. If it is deemed to accrue or arise in India, then it will be an Indian income. If it is an Indian income, it is taxable for both resident as well as non-resident. So, services are rendered in India. In the example, US citizen comes to India, working in India, earns money in India. So, therefore, services are rendered where? In India. No doubt. It's very, very clearly saying that the services are rendered in India. The moment the services are rendered in India, then it will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Then section 9 is satisfied, deemed to accrue or arise in India, Indian income, taxable for both resident as well as non-resident income. Everyone getting how do we need to see this? Now, let's say for a simple example, services are rendered outside India. Services are rendered outside India. Section 9 not satisfied. That means does not deem to accrue or arise in India. That means see whether if it is received in India. See whether it is received in India. If it does not deem to accrue or India, go to the first part. See whether it is received in India. If it is not received in India, then it will be a foreign income taxable only for resident. Taxable only for foreign income is taxable only for whom? A resident. Taxable only for resident. That is why residential status is very, very critical. Only based on the residential status, you will determine the chargeability, whether it is taxable or non-taxable. It's based on only on the residential status. Everyone getting what are we discussing? Right. Now for salary, there are two parts. Paid by Government of India. Second, for others, if the services are rendered in India. Next, second head of income is house property. Property situated in India. Property situated in India. The one property situated in India, it will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Property situated in India means it is deemed to accrue or arise in India. The moment it is deemed to accrue or arise in India, it will be a Indian income. It will be a Indian income. Taxable for both resident and non-resident. Next, third, profit or gain. Third head of income is profit or gains from business or profession. Profit or gains from business or profession. Business connection in India. Business connection, any purchase you have got, any sales you have got, or commission agent you have got, anything, any connection in India if you have got, then it will be considered as then it will be considered deemed to accrue or arise in India. Business in India. Next, capital gains.
Sir, can you repeat the previous thing so we couldn't hear it?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yeah, now in case of PGBP, that is profit or gains from business or profession, any business connection in India. Business connection, whether purchase, sales, or anything like that. We call it as business connection. Business connection in India. You able to hear me, right, everyone? Next, capital gains. Capital asset situated in India. then it will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Now, before you go for other sources, so there are two steps to determine whether it is an Indian income or not. Check whether it is deemed to accrue or arise in India. If it deems to accrue or arise in India, Indian income taxable for both. If it does not deem to accrue or arise in India, check if it is received in India. Does not deem to accrue or arise in India, check if it is received in India. If it is received in India, again it will be an Indian income taxable for both. Right. So it does not deem to accrue or arise in India, it is not received in India, then only it become a foreign income taxable only for residents. Right, everyone getting this? Can we proceed further? Right. Now, other sources is a detailed discussion. When we meet up again tomorrow, we'll do that. Other sources we need to understand much more. Now let's continue on that. Deemed to accrue or arise in India. Under that other sources, there are three parts that we have to understand. Interest. First is interest. So what are we now understanding is section 9, whereby if an income is deemed to accrue or arise in India, income is deemed to accrue or arise in India, then that income would be an Indian income taxable for both resident as well as for non-resident. So we talked about salaries, we then talked about house property, PGBP, and then capital gains. Now other sources, interest paid by government of India. Interest has got three parts. First is paid by government of India. Second, paid by the resident. Paid by the resident, except when money is used. What are we now paying is interest. What are we now paying is interest. Interest is, why do you pay interest? Because you have borrowed money. You might have borrowed money, therefore you are paying interest. You might have borrowed money, you are paying no interest. So first is paid by government of India. Second is paid by resident. Except when the money is used for any purpose other than business outside India. Other than business outside India. That means if it is used for, you don't use borrowed money for salary, so that is not an issue. So you may use for house property in India or outside India. It is deemed to accrue or arise in India. You might have used it for PGBP in India. It is deemed to accrue or arise in India. You might use it for capital gains in or outside India. Deemed to accrue or arise in India. So it is always deemed to accrue or arise in India, except when the money is used for PGBP outside India. If it is for PGBP outside India, then it does not deem to accrue or arise in India. In all the other cases, wherever it is used outside India, it will be deemed to, or in India, it will be deemed to accrue or arise. If it is paid by resident, that means the resident is paying. To whomsoever it is paying, we are not bothered. So once it is paid, then it will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Next, paid by non-resident. Money is used for business in India. Money is used for business in India. Right. If it is paid by non-resident, only case where it is deemed to accrue or resident is if it is a business in India. For any other purpose, if you have taken that, then it does not deem to. Then it does not deem to accrue or arise in India. First is Government of India. Whenever Government of India pays interest, it is always deemed to accrue or arise in India. Resident tax. You will just put in a different manner. You just take a small table, is concentrate, then you can note down particulars. That is the person who is paying. Then particulars, house property, PGBP. In PGBP, it could be in India, outside India. Then capital gains, other sources. When I say particulars are paid by, I'll put like this. The person who is paying, paid by, under the term, Government of India. If it is paid by Government of India, yes sir, deems to accrue or arise in India. In all cases, it deems to accrue or arise in India. Paid by resident. Now please understand, we are talking about the person who is paying. Taxability is always the person who is receiving. Please understand, it is not tax in the hands of the government, not tax in the hands of the resident. I am only talking about who is paying. Getting what are we talking about? Whose hands it is taxed? The person who is receiving. The person who is receiving, only in his hands it will be taxed. Say for example, A pays to B. A pays to B. Oh, A pays to B. We are now seeing who is A. If A is resident, differently it will be taxed over the hands of B. If A is a non-resident, then it will be different in the hands of B. You are able to understand what I am saying. It is always taxed in the hands of the resident. Income tax, it's not an expenditure tax, but we are now looking from the angle of this guy. Now, paid by resident. It is in all scenario, it is X, except here. Here it is no. Except here, right? It's no. If it is paid by non-resident, in all scenario, it is no. Except here. You are getting what are we talking now? So this is how it deems to accrue as India. So if a resident pays, it is deems to accrue as India except when the business is outside India. That means once it is deemed to accrue as India, it will be an Indian income taxable for both resident and non-resident. If it does not deem to accrue as India, see if it is received in India. If it is not received in India, then it is a foreign income taxable only for resident. Everyone getting what are we discussing? Everyone getting this? Right. Now, before you proceed, I see many of you are actually sleeping today. I do not know for whatever reason, sir. Starting ஆரம்பமே அமக்கலமா இருக்கும் அந்த கவுண்ட் பண்ணி அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கு. Right. Now we will start with MCQ. Yesterday I told you no. We will do some MCQ. அப்பயாவது we will start. We will be able to keep ourselves engaged. So let's start with the 3-4 MCQs. I will just give the question. Then you can check for the answer. You can just do. Then we will discuss on the answer. Able to see this here? Yeah. Right. Answer. Answer is B. 15 lakh 51 340. Everyone getting this? The thumb rule in MCQ is don't see the answer, sir. You do, then check with the answer. You see, everything will look. You're not getting 51 lakh 51 340. You're getting this. Arla. 14 lakh 10,000 310. ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಬರಲ್ಲ 15 lakh 16,040. Answer is A, not B. You have to apply marginal relief. If you have not applied marginal relief, then you would have got B. You have got a marginal relief. You have got a marginal relief that has to be applied. Then only you will get a right. This is more than it is 51 lakh 16,340 040 will be the answer. So if you have not applied the 33,946 marginal relief, you got a small marginal relief 33,946. All the relief calculation is available here. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Everyone getting what are we discussing? You would understand this? The answer will correct or no? MCQ. Can we proceed further? Right. Now let's go ahead to the next one. Able to see Krishna LLP has an income. Go ahead. Last time answer A no, so this time it has to be B. Correct? Number multiple choice question. Our multiple choice questions rules is always like this. No, inky, pinky, ponky. It's always like this. Last time A, this time B. Correct? Yeah. Answer B. Right. So it is you will have 30 percentage. Surcharge will be 12 percentage. Surcharge for a partnership firm. ALLP. ALLP is a partnership firm. Therefore, you will have a surcharge of 12 percentage. You will have a cess. So it is 46 lakh 28,438. It has to be rounded off. Therefore, 46 lakh 28,440. When will you have a surcharge? Then you have answer A is if you have applied 7 percentage, which is not correct. Partnership firm you don't have two surcharge rates. It's only one surcharge rate. The moment it exceeds 1 crore, it will be 12 percentage surcharge. Krishna LLP is a partnership firm, not a company. Krishna LLP is a partnership firm, not a company. Therefore, it should be answer B. So moral of the story, our inky pinky ponky works, or our MCQ item where A, first option is A, second option is B, it works. So examination, you have to ensure that we follow that. Surcharge should be at the rate of 12 percentage. Right. Now let's go to the next one. Able to say this, Ravi Inc. has an income of what? So option C. அப்படியே லாஜிக்கா வரணும்ல. A, B, C. C should be the answer. Income is more than 1 crore. Surcharge will be 7%. Like this, you should not think. It is A Inc. Foreign company. A Inc. Or what is that? I told you Ravi Limited. What is that? Appa, I just forgot the Inc. Ravi Inc. Inc. Foreign company. How do you know Inc. Foreign company? That is common sense. Either thing, right? Now, so you have to apply 40% tax rate. Surcharge will be 2%. So you will get answer D. Surcharge will be 2%. Ravi Inc. This is what I showed to you. Ravi Inc. has an income. Income means foreign company. Therefore, 40% tax, 2% surcharge, plus cess of 4%. So you get 1 crore 23 lakh 18,820. எல்லா ஆன்சருமே கரெக்டா இருக்கு. அப்புறம் என்ன பண்றது? When you have 50-50 helpline, அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. That is why I keep saying don't look at the answer. First read the question properly, then you will not be making any mistake. Right. Next up. Right. Answer is C. Is it 25% or 30% is the question now. Should you take B? Okay. Should you take 25% or 30% is the question now. But if you operate 25%, you don't have any answer. Try 30%. You will get 66,61,340, which is B. Answer B. So we go to this. We had 4 options: 66 lakh, 61,340. Like this, you should not do. Suppose surcharge is 7%. Answer is none of the above.
Sir, for a company, we need to calculate tax on turnover only, no, sir?
No. Turnover decides the rate of tax.
Oh, okay, sir.
Whether 25 or 30%. Whether you operate 25% or 30%, you don't have any of the answers. Answer is none of the above. There are two rates, either 25% or 30%. You can either have 25 or 30. You try both. Both of them will not give any answer. Try both. You will not get. Assuming this is the turnover, this is the income. I have tried it 30%. Try with 25%. You will get 53 lakh 3,300. So none of the above. Whether 25 or 30%, you will not have anything. So it would be none of the above. Right, you are getting this. Now one more MCQ. Then we will proceed further. I told 3-4 MCQs. You have already done 4. We will take up one more. Right. At last we got answer C. So 0 to 2.5 lakhs, 0, 2.5 to 5, 2.5, the balance would be taxable rate of 5%, which will give you 9411. Less than 5 lakhs, therefore you'll have 87-year rebate. 9411, no question of 87-year rebate. HUF will not have 87-year rebate. HUF will not have 87-year rebate. So straight away, cess at the rate of 4%. You will get 9787. So answer is A. Like this, you should not do. It is answer B. 9790. Tax should be rounded off to nearest 10 digit. Tax should be rounded off to nearest 10 digit. Therefore, answer is B. Correct about 9787. Fully correct. Last step. Go na go in the all the. I specifically told to please revise and come. Some people have not revised. That's why you are struggling. This is tax subject. Most of you would be learning for the first time. Those who have already learned in college, you have got added disadvantage. Added disadvantage. First, you have to unlearn whatever you have learned in college, then learn new things. Usually, when you do something, you have an added advantage. But tax, always when you learn in college, it is added disadvantage. Because first, to forget the wrong things that you learned in college, then learn the correct things. That is what tax is all about. In college, it's always fun to learn tax. Only when you understand what is the real tax. Anyway, now I have got another 3 or 4 more questions. I'll just share that in the group. Right? When I share it in the group, it will be like this. Now also I had only like this. Now also I had only like this. I just removed. Immediately I will have answers. I do not know how else I can give. Right? That's why I just copied and put it in a different word so that you don't see the answer. If you see the answer, what you'll do? Like you will first see the answer. Answer A. Then you will read the question and then do. No, that is not the way that it has to work. But I do not know how else I can share in the group. Or I'll do one thing. I'll share only the questions. Then with the answers, I will share it later so that you can try. You can try at your end. You can try at your end. Another 3 or 4 more questions that you have got. I think that should be sufficient for this chapter alone. Totally, it's only 15 MCQs that is going to be tested. Here itself, I got 8, 9 MCQs. So we'll be able to. I'll share it in the group. Without answers, I will share. Then I will share with the answers, so that you can try. What is it? What is it you have got? In case you have got, also you can let me know. I'll not share. How did I get that answer? Adula chance illa. You have to try. Answer alone I will share. You have to try. I will play a mischief rule, or I will do one thing. Now the moment you keep thinking, you will get to know. CA, crooked brain will always work. Whether real brain will work or not, crooked brain will always work. I will share with answer. I will ensure at least one problem has got a wrong answer. Right? I will ensure that some of them will have a wrong answer. You know, answer correct. Then you will come back. Right? So I will ensure you will have a wrong answer. That is the better methodology. Right? Now, because if you read the climax of a book, then start reading the book, then it is not fun. If the climax is wrong, then you will have a real fun. Right? Then you will understand that there is no link, then it will be real fun. That is what CA brain is all about. They will not think straight. They will always think in a different manner. You are also trained. Now you will also start thinking like that. Anyway, so this is what we have got. Everyone is awake, yeah? Some people were already sleeping. The morning, they were like, drinking coffee, wiping cloth, wet cloth on the face so that you keep yourself awake. And the marla, people tried different type of methodologies. Anyway, now let's go ahead. Tomorrow, when we start, we will do MCQs on residential status and scope of total income. We will do the scope of total income and residential MCQs. Again, 5-6 MCQs. Then I will share the balance MCQs with you. Tomorrow, now that we are winding up now, it's only 7:05. We have got enough time. I'm telling you. Tomorrow, when we meet up again, we will start with MCQs. We'll start with MCQs. Then we will proceed further on the balance. 5-6 MCQs again we will do. Right. Anyone has got doubts on this order that we discussed? Right. Now let's go back to section 9, deep to accrue or arise in India. This is what you might have probably noted down. Before we started doing MCQ, this is what you might have probably noted down. Correct? Right. Now, this is for the interest. Next, fees for technical services. Fees for technical services. Colloquially, in the chartered accountant circle, they call it as FTS. But I do not know how many examiners will be able to understand if you say FTS. But professionals will usually talk it as FTS. FTS. Now, fees for technical services. That means there is a scenario where technical services were rendered, for that some fees is paid. For that some fees is paid. Now let's go ahead. Understand when it will be deeming to accrue or arise in India. First, paid by resident. Paid by resident. Second, we'll just change this. No, we'll just change this. Just strike off paid by resident. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Where are you starting? I'm also human being only, no. So human beings can do mistakes. I'm also human being. Like you do mistake, I'm also doing mistake. You are striking off many times, no. Maybe you can say within brackets, Srinath made a mistake, therefore I strike off. No problem, no problem. You can write in your notebook, I made a mistake. But it's a mistake. First one is paid by government of India. First is paid by government of India. Strike off what I told. Start from beginning. Fees for technical services. Under that, paid by first one, paid by government of India. Second, paid by resident. Paid by resident. The services are used for any purpose. Paid by resident and services are used for any purpose other than business outside India. A paid to B. A paid to B. So who is paying? A. A is a resident. We are not bothered about who is B. B might be resident, non-resident. We are not bothered. We are only saying whether it is deeming to accrue or resident here. So while doing, we are not bothered about who is B. A pays. A pays for what purpose, sir? He used the services, sir. He utilized the services, sir. Who utilized? A. Used the services, sir. He can use it for any purpose other than business outside India. Other than business outside India. Same like your interest. Same like your interest. Next, third. Paid by non-resident. Services are used for business in India. That means this is same like the table that we had for interest. Same thing, no difference at all. No difference at all. Same thing that we had for interest. Only thing is interest money would be utilized. For fees for technical services, services are utilized. In case of interest, why do you pay interest? Because you have borrowed money. Because you have borrowed money, therefore you would have paid interest. Why are you paying FTS? Because you have utilized the services, sir. You have utilized the services, therefore you are paying FTS, sir. That is a definition for FTS. In section 9, it says fees for technical services means managerial services, consulting services, it means it could be either managerial services, it could be consulting services or technical services, sir. One of the what do I say? Most complex sections that you have got in Income Tax Act, most complex sections. What I am telling you is only 10% of section 9. Please understand that, right? What I am telling you is only 10%. When you go to final level, you will learn another 10%. So many items that you have got, you will not understand. You will not understand. If at all I have to tell you. What I know might be like 25%. That's all. If I tell you the 25%, you will not understand. Next class you will not come. Tomorrow you will not come. This is more than sufficient that I am telling you. Technical services, what is section 9 is all about. Technical services means managerial services or consulting services or technical services. Right here. So we are done with royalty, fees for technical services. The third is we are done with interest, fees for technical services. Third one is royalty. Same as fees for technical services. You need not repeat. Let's not do an imposition. So I'll say fees for technical services stroke royalty. So the table that we had, there you can give the heading interest, fees for technical services or royalty. The table we had just before we started MCQ, we had a small table that I projected in Excel also. There the table, all the three remain same. All three remain same. Right. Right. Yeah. Now, sorry, once my laptop was like, out of that, no, it's not low battery. Section 9 padona laptop low battery energy. So I have to get the charger. That's why it's taking some time. Now, so the next part that we are going to discuss, it's not important for examination. It is only for academic interest. It's only for academic interest. Second, you have to know as a tax professional, when you are going to do your articleship, you have to know all these things. Third one, final level, this is important, definitely. Third point is to show off that I know. Right up. For these three reasons, we are going to discuss this. And again, I'm telling you, examination not important. Again, I'm telling you, examination not important. Now, let's say, if you go back to capital asset that we discussed, when does it deem to accrue or rise in debt? Yesterday we discussed that. Go back to capital asset. It deems to accrue or rise in India. The capital asset is situated in India. Like this we discussed yesterday. Right. Fourth point in section 9, we discussed like this. It deems to accrue or rise in India if the capital asset is situated in India. Like this we discussed. So there was a case law by Supreme Court. Name of the case law is Vodafone. Name of the case law is Vodafone. And it goes like this. Vodafone, before it became Vodafone, it was called as Hutch. I do not know how many of you are actually aware of this. Earlier, the company was called as Hutch. Then it became Vodafone. So what happened was, Hutch Netherlands had a subsidiary. Everyone knows subsidiary. Heard of the word subsidiary? Have at least 51% shareholding. Had a subsidiary in Cayman Islands. I'm not scolding you, by the way. This is the name of the country. Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands had another subsidiary, Mauritius. Mauritius is a wonderful place to go. You have to actually visit her. That too, if you have got a lover or fiancé or wife, then it's a very good place to visit her. So people already started daydreaming. Now, coming back to this discussion, we'll finish off CA, then you can go there. Mauritius, sir, had a subsidiary in India. So this was the transaction. So Netherlands had a subsidiary in Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands had a subsidiary in Mauritius. Mauritius had a subsidiary in India. This is the Netherlands company. This Netherlands company transferred the shares of Cayman Islands to Vodafone. So what happened? It did not transfer the share of Indian company. It transferred the share of Cayman Islands. Therefore, what happened? This Cayman Island became a subsidiary of Vodafone. Because the Cayman Island became a subsidiary of Vodafone, Mauritius also became a subsidiary of Vodafone, India also became a subsidiary of Vodafone. Right? Everyone getting what are we talking about? Income tax authority said Vodafone is liable to pay tax because this deems to accrue or arise in India. Why? They said the capital asset is Indian company shares that are transferred, therefore it has to be paying tax. But what was transferred? Transfer was the shares of Cayman Islands. But income tax authority said this has to be, this is liable for tax and therefore you have to pay tax in India. It deems to accrue or arise in India, therefore you have to pay tax. Matter went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said nothing doing. Supreme Court said nothing doing. Supreme Court said it's not taxable. Supreme Court said it is not taxable. Why it said? Simply said this transfer or Cayman Islands asset was transferred, not the Indian company shares, therefore it cannot be taxed. I'm telling you in a very, very simple nutshell manner. After Supreme Court gives the judgment, it is binding. It is binding and it is applicable throughout India. Everyone has to follow. Mandatorily, it has to be followed. But there is an option available for tax people. What is the option available? Amend the Act. If you amend the act, what happens? When will Supreme Court give the judgment? Supreme Court will give the judgment stating if there is an ambiguity in the act. After the matter goes to Supreme Court, the act got amended. And it got amended from 1962. Retrospective effect. Got amended, and therefore, today, what is it? Sir? The capital asset of the capital asset situated in India directly or indirectly. Here, indirectly, capital asset situated in India. Therefore, they said this is also taxable. Not from today. They made this amendment in 2012. Judgment is only 267 page. Right, very small judgment comprising of only 267 page. Right, it was only a 267 page judgment, and the volume and the Vodafone that has to, they have to now pay is only 11,000 crores. Not a big amount. Amount that has to be paid to the tax authority is only 11,000 crores. 11,000 crores. That is more than or if at all I have to tell in the language that you will be able to understand, or we all be Nirav Modi and the amount right. So they lost Nirav Modi, no, they have to gain. They are amended retrospectively. They amended retrospectively in 2012 and said nothing going. And today, Supreme Court, today Vodafone is now fighting in International Court of Justice, saying that all these things should not happen. That is a different issue. I'm not going to talk about all those. What today that we have got is a beautiful judgment of 267 page by the then Supreme Court Chief Justice. Wonderful justice Kapadia. We all know I actually here is today the capital asset is situated either directly or indirectly. It will be deeming to accrue or arise in India, and therefore that income would be taxable in India, be it resident or non-resident. If you have not understood the last 5 minutes of discussion, ignore. Now let's come back. Let's come back to our discussion. Right. Now, last 5 minutes of discussion, it's only to someone tells you about Vodafone judgment, and it's being talked even today in a very detailed manner, though it is nullified for various other reasons. When someone tells you have some idea about what is it they are talking about. That is why I thought I'll explain to you. Usually I'll explain this to every batch. Some of them will understand, some of them will not understand. Same thing here also. If you have understood, fine. If you have not understood, also fine. No problem at all. So coming back to our discussion. So we said section 5 has got 3 things. Received, deemed to be received. First, accrues, deemed to accrue. Third, arises, deemed to arise. Deemed to accrue or arise is given in section 9. So from section 5 go to section 9. If in section 9 it is deeming to accrue or arise in India, then it becomes Indian income. If it does not deem to accrue or arise in India, see if it is received in India. If it is not received in India, then it is a foreign income, taxable only for residents. This is something that we already discussed yesterday. I am only repeating what is it we discussed yesterday. Right? Can we proceed further? Now, let's go ahead and do one problem that we have got on this. I've already shared the workbook yesterday with you. No, yesterday I shared no workbook. Group, right? The problem question paper, there are few people where I take more effort in setting the question paper and preparing the answer. Some people, okay, sir, I received. Please ensure that you take it very, very seriously. You got today we are on 15th of July. You got less than 3.5 months for your examination. Please ensure that you prepare properly. In your own interest, I'm telling you, exams will not get postponed. Don't think that COVID will continue till November. Although COVID will continue till November, India is gone. So please ensure that you do it. Take it very seriously and start doing. Now let's go ahead and do one problem that we have got in that workbook that I shared with you yesterday. Mr. Shyam and Mohan are brothers, and they earn the following income for the financial year 1920. Mr. Shyam has settled in Australia in 2001. and Mr. Mohan settled in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is, by the way, in India. Mr. Shyam visits India 20 days every year. Only 20 days every year. Therefore, Shyam is a non. Okay. Before I proceed, one point that I wanted to tell you. Sorry, I just no, stopping abruptly. One point I want. You have noted down the slab rates. Can you go back to that slab rates? Can you go back to that slab rates that you noted down for individuals? You would have said senior citizen, very senior citizen, others. Like this, you would have said. Now, before senior citizen, write resident. Before very senior citizen, write resident. So it is resident, senior citizen, resident, very senior citizen. That is why I told you others. I never told you less than 59 years or 59 years and all. Why? If the person is a non-resident and senior citizen, they will form part of others. If a person is a non-resident and very senior citizen, he will form part of others. That's why we told. That's why we discussed as others. Very senior citizen, and we never told and we never discussed as 59 years and less. We never discussed as 59 years and less. We said others. Right. Reason is it is a resident senior citizen, a resident very senior citizen, and others. Why did I not tell you at that point of time? At that point of time, we did not know residential status and all. We did not discuss about residential status. Residential status, we are now only talking about. We are now only talking about residential status. That is why it has to be others. It has to be others. Because if a very senior citizen who is a non-resident, for him the basic exemption is only 2.5 lakhs. Very senior citizen non-resident, only 2.5 lakhs. Senior citizen resident, 3 lakhs. Senior citizen resident, 3 lakhs. Senior citizen non-resident, 2.5 lakhs. So please note down this. Please note down this and don't and ensure that you don't make a mistake on this. This I wanted to tell you yesterday. This I wanted to tell you at the beginning of today's class, but for some reasons, just missed my attention. Next one. Now go to that 87-year rebate. I told you it's applicable for individual. There are also resident individual. For a non-resident individual, 87-year rebate is not applicable. It's applicable only for resident individual. 87-year rebate. Right now, coming back to this discussion, Mr. Shyam and Mohan are brothers, all those things. Shyam settled in Australia, Mohan settled in Hyderabad. Shyam visits 20 days every year. So Shyam comes to India only for 20 days. Therefore, straight away, Shyam is a non-resident. Shyam visits only 20 days, therefore non-resident. Mr. Mohan also visits Sydney for a month, only 1 month. That means out of 365 days, 330 days he is in India. Therefore, Mohan is a resident, Shyam is a non-resident. In exam, you have to write this. Mohan, why he is a resident? Shyam, why he is a non-resident? That point has to be written in examination. Now we just told orally, but in examination it has to be written. Compute the total income for the assessment year 2021 from the following information. Right now, let's go ahead. Have 3 columns, particulars, Shyam within brackets non-resident, Mohan within brackets resident. Interest on Australian development bonds. %50 received in India. Right. Now we have got for Shyam, we have got for Mohan. Right. Mohan, I'll tell you now. 28,000. Resident global income is taxable. So no problem. For Mohan, 28,000. So what we will do is we will share the load. There are two persons, Shyam and Mohan. Right. Mohan, I'll tell you. Shyam, you write. Mohan, all incomes taxable. Therefore, I'll tell. For Mohan, anything, because Mohan is a resident. Resident, foreign income, Indian income, both are taxable. Foreign income, Indian income, both are taxable. Therefore, I'll tell. Shyam, only Indian income is taxable. Foreign income is not taxable. Therefore, you will write for Shyam. Right. You will write. Easier thing you will do. Tougher thing I'll tell. Right. Tougher thing I'll tell. Easier thing you will have to do. Resident, everything is taxable. Tougher. Therefore, I'll tell. Non-resident, only few items are taxable, few items are not taxable. It's a easier thing. Therefore, you will say. Right. So you fill up, Shyama, whatever number you want to fill up, 36,000, 30,000, 6,000, 0, 18,000, whatever you want to fill up. Everyone is starting. Okay, first one I'll let you know. Australian development bonds, interest on Australian development bonds. It is paid by non-resident, but 50% is received in India. Therefore, how much is taxable is only 50%. How much is taxable is only 50%. So for Shyam, it is 18,000. Mohan, don't be bothered at all. Close eyes, write the amount that is given, 28,000. Examination, you have to write with reasons. Here we are not writing with reasons. Examination, you have to write with reasons. Whatever that I am telling you, those reasons also should form part of your answer. Those reasons that I am telling you should also be forming part of your answer. Next, dividend from Japanese company received in India. Received in Sydney. For Mohan, I am telling you 12,000. Shyam, you fill up. Next, profit from a business in Mumbai managed from the city. For Mohan, it is 0. For Shyam, it is taxable. Why? It is a business in Mumbai. Business correction is in India. Business itself is in Mumbai. We are not worried about where it is controlled. Business correction itself is India. Therefore, it will be taxable. For both of them, it is taxable. Next, profit on sale of shares of our Indian company received in India. The amount is received in India, no doubt. 65,000, 90,000. Income from a business in Chennai. Chennai is in India. Therefore, nothing 28,000, 32,000. Examination, you have to, as I keep saying, you have to write it along with reasons. Business in India, therefore taxable, it's an Indian income taxable for both. Like this, it has to be written. Like this, it has to be written. Examination, whatever reasons that you have to write with reasons. Here we know we are discussing the reasons, we are not writing because it will take so much of time. For us to do one problem, it will take 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We are discussing and writing. Examination, you are not going to discuss anyone. If you are going to discuss with someone and write in examination, then you will be sent out. Right? So it is not for examination. You have to write it on your own. Therefore, it will not take so much of time. Next time. Go ahead with sixth point, then we will discuss. Right. Fees for technical services rendered in Sydney, received in Sydney, it was utilized in India. Right. Now for Mohan, no doubt at all. It is nothing, no amount. For Shyam, are you bar about rendered or utilized? We are not bar about where it is rendered, we are bar about where it is utilized. Where it is utilized. If it is utilized in India, be it by resident or non-resident, utilized in India for the purpose of business in India, it will be a Indian income deemed to accrue or raise India, therefore it will be an Indian income. See here, in India, if it is in India, then it will be deemed to accrue or raise in India. Then I about who pays, whether resident pays or non-resident pays. If it is for business in India, then it will be, we are about utilized in India. We are not about where it is rendered, we are about where it is utilized. If it is utilized in India, then it will be deemed to accrue or, you are getting what I am discussing. Therefore, you will have this as taxable for Shyam. Mohan, why it is not taxable? Not taxable. Amount is zero. He did not receive. Amount is zero. Mohan also taxable only, but amount is zero. Fees for technical services. See here. Fees for technical services for Mohan. Amount is zero. Next, go to seventh. Interest on savings in central bank. Very clearly, Hyderabad. Both will be 8,000. Both will be taxable. 8,000, 18,000. Why it is in Hyderabad in India? If it is in India, it is an Indian income, therefore taxable for both resident and non-resident. Next, examination, please read along with reasons. I am not telling you the reasons. Examination, we have already discussed the reasons. Examination, as I keep saying, along with reasons. agriculture income from a land situated in Gujarat. Agriculture income is exempt. Agriculture is exempt, therefore it is 0. Why it is exempt? I will explain to you. I will explain to you at a later point of time, not now. I will explain to you at a later point of time. Therefore it is 0. You can say agriculture income hyphen exempt. 0, 0. Go to fish of 9, 10, 11. 9 I will explain to you. Very simple. The rent received in respect of a property situated in Hyderabad. Situated in Hyderabad. It is taxable for both. Situated property situated in India. Therefore, Indian income taxable for both. But how much is taxable is only 70%. 30% rental income is exempt. I will explain to you next chapter. Tomorrow we'll start only with income from house property. Tomorrow we'll start with income from house property. I will explain to you at that point of time. Now you will say amount taxable as 86,000 to 70%, 60,000 to 70%. So 60,200 and 42,000. You can say, I have to explain to you. I have to explain to you. You can mark. Tomorrow, when we are discussing, we will be able to understand why the 30%. So it will be 60,200 and 42,000. Right? You are getting this amount 60,200 and 42,000. Now, finish off 10 and 11, then we will discuss. Finish off 10, 11, then we will discuss. Right. It is interest received from B. B is a non-resident. He used to for the purpose of business outside India. So it is does not deem to accrue or erase India. He used to for business outside India. Does not deem to accrue or erase India. Therefore, it is foreign income. Taxable only for resident. Does does not deem to accrue or rise in India, taxable only for resident. For Sham it is 0. For Mohan it will be 80,000. Received royalty from A, which pertains to business carried on in India. The moment it is carried on in India, then it deems to accrue or rise in India, taxable for both resident as well as non-resident. It is an Indian income taxable for both resident as well as non-resident. So 95,000 and 1,65,000. So the total would be 4,12,200 and 4,73,000. Right, are you getting this? So this is what we have got for residential status and scope of total income. Right, we will stop here for the day.